Well, this is Silent Saturday. Easter weekend consists of 3 days. Each one has a different message. There's Good Friday, made good because of the sacrifice of Christ on the cross. There's Celebration Sunday, made worthy of celebration because of the empty tomb of Christ. But right in the middle, there is this Silent Saturday. We talk a lot about Good Friday. We talk a lot about Celebration Sunday. Well, we should, but let's don't skip too quickly past Silent Saturday because that's where many of us are. Somewhere between the appearance of the problem and the appearance of the solution. Somewhere between offered prayer and answered prayer. Somewhere between supplication and celebration, there is a Silent Saturday. Seems like the whole world is in this Silent Saturday. I know we're seeing many answers to prayer for sure, but boy, we're waiting on some more. As some of you were in a Silent Saturday before this pandemic came to your door, you know what it's like. And maybe you've wondered, how can I maintain faith during a Silent Saturday? Well, I found a story in the Bible to help us do just that. If that doesn't interest you, then let me encourage you to fast forward to the end of this video because there's a song that I really hope you'll hear. Matthew West, a good friend of mine, wrote this song just for this crisis that we're facing. I just received it yesterday. He just recorded it this week. Grab some tissues because this song's going to touch your heart. You don't want to miss this song. Now, if you do want to hear what I have to say, what the story is about a man who survived a Silent Saturday, I think I can do it in about 4 minutes. If you got 4 minutes, here we go. He was a nobleman. He was an official. He lived in a fishing village called Capernaum during the days of Christ, and his son was dying. He wanted to ask Jesus for help, except Jesus was not in Capernaum. Jesus was 18 miles away in another small town called Cana. And so the man made that journey from Capernaum to Cana. And when he came into the presence of Christ, John chapter 4 and verse 47, he went and he begged Jesus to come to Capernaum to heal his son who was about to die. You'll find this story in your Bible too. John chapter 4 and verse 47. This is a straightforward request. He doesn't drop any names. He doesn't mention his position. He doesn't pledge any financial support. He asks Jesus if Jesus would come with him, make that 18-mile journey from Cana back to his home in Capernaum and heal his son. There's something about the atmosphere of the moment that prompts Jesus to issue a caution. Will you never believe in me unless you see miraculous signs and wonders? And Jesus here cautions against a contingent faith, a faith that is contingent upon Jesus responding in a way that is the way people want to see. The man, he really doesn't want to talk about that. He repeats his request. Verse 49, the official pleaded, Lord, please come now before my little boy dies. Please come now. It's a specific request. It's an urgent request. Come with me. Come now. Come soon before my little boy dies. And look what Jesus says. Jesus told him, go back home. Your son will live. Boy, that's good news, right? Well, maybe. But you see, Jesus did not answer the prayer the way the man had made the prayer. The man had said, would you come with me to my home? And Jesus said, you just go home. Your son will live. And the man has to make a decision now. Will he obey Christ and trust? We all find ourselves somewhere between the towns of Cana and Capernaum on that 18-mile hike. Somewhere between offered prayer and answered prayer. Somewhere in a Silent Saturday. Maybe the man turned on a dime, high-fived everybody, and started skipping his way all the way back to Capernaum. If so, he was a better man than I would have said, well, won't you come with me? Won't you please, won't you keep me company? Won't you answer this prayer exactly in the time I asked it, in the way I asked it? Won't you do exactly But that's not what Jesus promised the man. He calls for the man to have faith and to move in the direction of the answered prayer. And the man did. He made that 18-mile hike back to his home. I'm picking up now in verse 51. While the man was on his way, some of his servants met him with the news that his son was alive and well. He asked them when the boy had begun to get better. They replied, yesterday afternoon. At 1 o'clock his fever suddenly disappeared. And then the father realized that was the very time that Jesus had told him, your son will live. And he and his entire household believed in Jesus. So the good news of the servants was met with a good question from the father. At what time did my son begin to show improvement? And when the father realized that Jesus had spoken the word and the miracle had occurred, that's when he and his entire household believed in Jesus. They believed in Jesus. And so the man's prayer was for Jesus to heal the physical body of his son, which Jesus did, but then Jesus went above and beyond and he healed the spiritual state. He secured for eternity the spiritual destiny of the household. The man believed. Verse 50 tells us the example of the man. The man took Jesus at his word and departed. That's what the man did. He took Jesus at his word. He heeded the word of faith over the words of fear. My friend, you're hearing a lot of words. Oh boy, they're coming at you from all directions. But to get through this season, to survive this silent Saturday, you got to heed Jesus at his word and walk in the direction of an answered prayer. Walk in the direction of an answered prayer. You pick up your walking stick and you head in the direction of an answered prayer. You take Jesus at his word. This is the word of Jesus. Jesus said, in this world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer, because I have overcome the world. And Jesus said, come to me, all you who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That's what Jesus has said. Take him at his word. Jesus has said, I am with you always, to the very end of this age. That's the word of Christ. Take Jesus at his word. Walk in the direction of an answered prayer. This silent Saturday is going to become a celebration Sunday. I don't know exactly how God is going to answer our prayers, but I do know this, whether on this planet or in his presence, he will. He will, because that's his word to us. Now be blessed by this powerful song. Thank you, Matthew West. Now, take heart.